All right, hi guys. I just wanted to jump on here quickly and just show you. So I'm busy doing my Divergent Skills Assessment. Yeah, the DSA, Divergent Skills Assessment. I'm busy doing that, and I'm actually now wanting to apply it to actual clients. So over here, I was busy going through the different scores because you get a score out of 5 through this mathematical whatevers, okay? And then you get a score out of 5, which is very similar to that of a performance appraisal at the corporate, well, specifically corporate, but most companies have performance appraisals. And I was looking at, I want ways to identify what specifically um, the marks mean, because different marks mean different things. Now, I will come on and explain at some stage, like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, all of the different percentages and how it fits into the bell curve, etc. So please pay attention for that. It is going to happen at some stage, but I just need to get there. But yes, I was thinking of um, coming up with like, because the DSA has got actual um, names. Let me just get them quickly. So there are actual names for the specific code that you fall within. So for example, yeah, they are like level 1 is crisis candidate or the survivor. Level 2 is unstable striver, the battler. Level 3 capable contender or the contender. Level 4 independent operator or the autarch. Interesting. And then the fifth one is Verum Vanguard or the Vanguard. So I think that that's awesome. But I also just want like ways to identify what specifically, how to identify what specifically is going on. Because I'm all about skills, I'm all about strengths, I'm all about competencies. So over here, one can see that between 0 to 20, which is basically a 1, is the strategic reboot required 100%. So fundamental misalignment. Scrap the current approach. It's time for a radical rethink. Yeah. If anyone gets between 0 to 20%, that's one of those things of like, you shouldn't be doing this. Whatever you are doing, 100% is not working. So your choices are completely revolutionize what you are doing, pull your socks up and figure it out, or drop it. There's nothing wrong with dropping it. Okay, I've dropped a lot of things in my life. It's not you're just identifying that that's not one of your strength areas. It's something to be ashamed about. Okay, between 20 to 40 is critical realignment zone. 100%, yeah. So major elements are off track, salvageable, but needs bold correction and new direction. Yes, 100%. And it's a lot of work and it's a lot of effort, but it's not like you can't achieve. I've had many clients get in the 20s. The highest I ever got was like a 50% increase. My client was getting like in the 20s, and then after I worked with them, they started getting like in the 70s, and I thought that was absolutely fantastic. But yeah, so definitely that. And then between 40 to 60 is growth potential detected. Yeah, anything 40% and up is like, it's not good. I mean, in no sense of the word is 40% good or 30% good. I mean, it's not that good. But at the end of the day, these marks mean something. So if you are getting 20 to 40% for a subject, take these skills into account and then apply them in your own life. So major elements are off track, salvageable, but needs bold correction to uh, a new direction. And then 40 to 60 is a solid baseline, good bones. Now refine, expand, and target growth opportunities 100%. So if your marks are anywhere under 40%, you desperately need help. If your marks are over 40%, a few tweaks, 99% of the time with my clients, it's a couple tweaks here and there and a willing uh, person to take it on. That's all you need. Yeah. Um, 60 to 80% is strong and advancing, so above average, definitely. Aligned, productive, and responsive, maintain momentum, stay adaptive. Yes. Okay, I'm actually going to, now that I've thought about it, I'm actually going to do a video with each of these and then identify the differences. Um, that's a good idea. Okay, yeah. But anything, I always say anything over 50 is good. That's what you want. Because majority of places, I mean, not your IT, but universities, academia, places like that, you have a minimum pass mark. Most of the time, 50% is the lowest, unless it's like compulsory schooling type situation. But when it comes to all the qualifications, the pass marks are usually between 50 to 80%. So anything over 50 is good, you're winning, it's fine. Um, no, right? Anything over 50, you're winning. Anything over 65 is good. Okay, that's good. That's really good. Because why do I say that? Because at universities specifically, majority of your postgraduate studies, if you have a 65% average, they only consider you. So, for example, if you want to study to like your master's degree, you have to have a minimum of 65% for your honors or your bachelor's or whatever. Okay, like that's what gets that's the basic bare minimum requirement in terms of marks that you need to get. Yeah, anything over 75 is good. That's really good because 75% is an A at university, not 80%. So I think that that's absolutely phenomenal. Between 75 to 79% is cum laude. Between 80 to 89% is magna cum laude, and then between 90 to 100 is summa cum laude. So yeah, so my degree it says Caitlin Boyces, whatever, summa cum. Sorry, I wish summa cum laude 90%. Cum laude, just not just plain cum laude. I worked very hard. I missed my magna by a percentage. Damn it. I worked so bloody hard, but it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Right. And then yeah, above average, aligned, productive, responsive, 100%. I would definitely say that between 40 and 60, between 30 and 50, I would definitely say the person's not necessarily very responsive as well. It's not it's not commonplace to have someone score marks like that and be genuinely enthusiastic and trying. Okay, it's not normal. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but that's not the norm. The bulk of people getting those marks are very defeated, and it shows. It definitely does show. And then between 80 to 100 is optimal alignment achieved, fully synergized. Strategy, execution, and potential are in top form, model performance. That's why if you are a 60%, for example, and you want to get over 80% for something, what do? You need to target and go, okay, cool. So I'm above average, I'm aligned, productive, responsive. I need to maintain momentum and stay adaptive. So you go and you research what specifically is 60 to 80, what the characteristics are of a person that maintains marks within that section. I'm talking about averages. I'm not talking about individual scores. Individual scores, you can interpret that in terms of like tests and exams, um, versus a project versus an oral. Okay, cool. So I get majority of my good marks are sitting in my orals and my assignments. My bad marks are sitting in my tests. Okay, cool. Where do your exams fall? Neither or. It's whatever. My exam marks are fine, but my test scores are bad. Me, for example, my test scores are always worse than my exam marks. My exam marks are always 80% and up. My test marks, eh. There's some doozies I have. But in most cases, like anyway. All right. So yeah. So and then you want to become fully synergized. You've got strategy. It's not just about strategy, it's about execution. Okay, your potential, you are tapping into your potential, not someone else's potential, your potential. If you are a person who can't sit still for 5 minutes, then don't judge yourself on the same level as someone who can sit down for 4 hours and actually enjoy sitting behind a book and studying. I love studying. I think studying is so fun. But anyway, so that's why. So you need to start adapting and you need to start taking on skills that are going to get you to where you want to get to. And it's little changes. It's none, very, very few changes are actually all the radical ones. You work your way up to the radical ones. Find the little, find the pebble in your shoe before you try and take the splinter out of your eye. You know? Like, there are always going to be horrific things that you're going to have to deal with. But then there are also little nuisances on the side, annoyances, inconveniences. Just sometimes when you're not feeling up to the big end of the world, I need to take on this massive final boss master. I personally, so I play Hogwarts Legacy and I thoroughly enjoy it. Thoroughly enjoy it. Anybody who likes Hogwarts, you will enjoy it. Anyway, and there are just some times where I just don't feel like going and doing the whole like fighting thing. And I do enjoy the open world where I'm just roaming around, flying on a bloody broomstick, chugging a few potions. I absolutely love that. Or walking through the town, Hogsmeade. It's fun. Where sometimes I want a challenge. Not exactly the same thing. There's just sometimes in your life where it's like, I'm not in the mood for a challenge. I'm tired. I'm licking my wounds. I just came out of a battle. I'm good. But, you know, my bedding can be done. And then you just get up and you just do your bedding. It's that like might as well concept. Yeah, ADHDers, go and look into that. It's the might as well concept. Um, I've actually applied it in my own life and it really does work. Not all the time, but most of the time I do. I'm like, ah, I'm here. I might as well just do X, Y, Z. And then I just help my future self with lots of little kindnesses. It's littered throughout my life. Just to show my future self, babe, someone is actually looking out for you. All right. But yeah, so as you can see over here, absolutely phenomenal. We'll get more into it. Okay. Bye.